Oh, he's getting his whole body into it. All right. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. He's now slithering like a snake.
Wow.
Hey, you know what? I want to get into it today.
You got a lot of layers on today.
Yeah, I do. I love layers.
You got 3 layers, at least that I can see.
I've got an undershirt, right? I got a stripy undershirt. I've got a nice red button up.
You got like Kevlar under there?
I put a blazer on.
Like your 50 Cent?
We're doing a podcast. I wear a blazer.
Yeah.
I wish I had 15 blazers, but I only have, I think, two.
You should wear all of them at the same time.
What's the difference between a blazer and a suit jacket?
I think a suit
Joey.
jacket has pants and a blazer doesn't.
So if I lose my pants and I have a
think
blazer.
blazers are usually like, a cheaper material. They're casual, a little more casual. So welcome to Podwatcher.
We're filming this about 3 days into the fires going crazy in California.
Yes.
So the energy is going to be a little off.
Yeah, the one right by our office has been stopped so far.
Okay.
Yeah, we should check.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I got we started recording and I got 6 text messages in a row just as soon as we start. Okay.
I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick cursory glance at the watch duty.
I'd like to say right out front, everyone at Watcher is safe. There were a couple
As of right now, yeah.
people who were very close to the zones.
I believe all of us have a go bag packed at this point.
We sure did. Yeah. It's certainly a spooky time.
It was.
Yeah.
Now it's leveled a little bit for the people who are sort of in the central part of the city. Obviously, it's still very bad over in the Palisades and Altadena out east.
This will come out again 10 days from now. Like
who knows?
12 days from if the fires are gone.
I hope
the cleanup is going to last forever. It's just it's crazy. We're very fortunate and very grateful, but it's exhausting, and I can't imagine for the people who,
Yeah, no, I can't even imagine.
lost everything.
Just even the fear of like possibly losing your place where you live, and then seeing it happen to all the people, just countless homes after homes. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Other timely news. Puppet History is now releasing.
Yes, it was a nice little distraction to be finishing up Puppet History. The first episode is now up. Actually, by this point, the second episode will be up on Watcher TV.
Nice.
And that's coming to YouTube, premiering on February 7th. But if you want to get the early watch, it's over on Watcher TV.
And there's plenty of lore this season.
I put my whole Shanusi into this.
I was wondering if you were going to say that. I was wondering if you were going to say it. I was going to say it for you, but I had a feeling you were revving up for it. And I was like, I would have personally went with, I was going to say Medusi into it.
Medusi.
But
okay.
I thought you went
Medusi? I don't know.
Medusi. I thought you were going to do that, but you went Shanusi.
Well, there's a big bug in here.
Yeah, I've been hearing it buzzing.
This is a fly. Whoa, this is an exciting episode. Whoa.
Well, it is like an episode of Breaking Bad.
We're going to get Ryan Johnson in here.
It is a fun episode today. I know you were you were joking.
No, I always think
We have a guest.
We have a guest.
We do have a guest.
Detune. Ghost Hunter Extraordinaire.
Only one of us could leave the room this after this is done.
I'm curious how plugged in I'm going to be into this conversation.
Because of the bug or because of
the ghost hunting?
The ghost hunting, okay.
Yeah, I find that when we talk about ghosts a lot, like I run out of steam, But
I noticed.
I'm sure.
I think we all noticed.
But I'm curious, the common ground. It might be more engaging for me because I am talking to someone who has been out there, who's been,
Yeah.
It's
not
fun,
me. It's
fun
not
to
me.
compare experiences with other people.
Compare notes.
Anyway, that'll be exciting. So I guess we'll talk to him now.
I like your nails. I just noticed your nails.
Thank you.
Shane and I were thinking of doing our feet for because we're going to show our
Doing our feet.
because we're going to show our feet soon on a ghost investigation, which is you'll appreciate this technique.
Yeah.
There's a ghost that's said to give sexy foot rubs on one of our investigations we're about to go take off and do. And I thought we should paint our toenails, but Shane said no.
Oh, you know
Okay,
what?
no. One should paint their toenails and one not.
Control.
Yeah, control.
Yeah, but
Oh,
who's
I
to
see.
say that is actually a control? What if just like objectively I have sexier feet than Shane already?
I'm going to spray my feet with cologne.
Ghost very much.
Our feet are going to look immaculate for that.
We should make it clear. This is Detune.
Hello, everyone.
That's right.
And you'll appreciate this when Ryan said you'll appreciate this.
Feet?
Ryan was talking about, exactly. Ryan was talking about the fact that Detune's a ghost hunter and not a foot guy.
And known foot guy.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, let's make that clear.
It's him and Quentin Tarantino. They sit atop. They're on the Mount Rushmore of foot people.
You'll really appreciate this. We're going to take our feet out.
I'm the foot guy of ghost hunters.
That's right.
That hurts.
No, you're not the foot guy of Ghost Hunters. That's me.
Now, I was saying before you got here, I'm always curious about how long I will be able to talk about ghosts with someone, because as you know, I'm a skeptic.
Yeah.
So like my mileage very much varies.
Yeah.
It doesn't vary that much.
I guess you're right. I check out after a while, but
Yeah.
it's rare that we actually do get to talk to someone who is out there, doing it.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be fun to compare our experiences here.
Yeah.
Especially because you are operating in an entirely different space on Twitch.
Yeah. I do it live.
Which is
Yes.
crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because
it's crazy.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Uh-huh.
How you do it is really cool too. You do a live investigation that you stream on Twitch, but you're also filming separately so that you could cut it together for a YouTube video, and then you
Yes.
integrate the Twitch footage with the YouTube footage later,
Yep.
which is super cool.
So it's like a uncut full investigation. And then we're always filming on other cameras, or I'll hand my guests a side camera.
Nice.
And then, we'll send people away alone off stream.
Yeah.
And then cut it all together. So even if you watch the entire investigation, you have a new experience when you go watch on YouTube.
it's pretty fun. I would imagine, and this is speaking from our point of view,
Mhm.
I think if we broadcast live from our investigations, it would be pretty disastrous.
Well, we want to figure out how to
For
do
the
it.
viewer. We would. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm thinking of the way we shoot right now, where it's like we're very intentionally shooting for something that we will edit.
Yeah.
In the same way that like when we sit down to do something and we know it's going to be edited,
The things that come out of his mouth.
it's not,
You'll never believe it.
Not as exciting.
You
We
thought those
can-
Access Hollywood tapes were bad? The Podwatcher tapes will finish him. They'll fucking finish him.
That's it.
when we do live shows, it's a lot more polished, and I mean, generous sometimes.
I was about to say, it's kind of generous to say that, dude.
Well, it certainly is. I think we're a little more, we're better at presenting when we know, like, okay, there's no editing on this. Let's keep it moving.
I guess like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like that you're on and you have to stay on the whole time, and you have to like the audience knows that something like this, there's going to be ups and downs, goofy times, spookier times,
Boring times.
boring times, and like you could just like talk to the audience and just like, what should we do next?
That's the
Let's
element
make plans together.
is really fun talking to.
How do you get, what responses do you get from the audience when, because a lot of ghost hunting is question, wait, response, and the wait sometimes is long. Like you're just sitting in silence for a long time.
Yeah.
Are you during that time, are you just kind of looking at the chat while also listening for evidence?
Yeah. So the chat's very, very involved
That's
with
awesome.
how I have it all set up. I also have it set up so the chat can check on cameras in different rooms that we're not
Dude,
in.
that is sick.
So if
That's really cool.
Yeah, I have a command that they can do, or like the moderators can put in chat to like vote on which camera to check, and it'll pop up in the corner.
Oh my God.
So if there's some lull and we're just like waiting for a response, and like we hear something that might be faint, could be outside, could be something, they're like, oh, it might be over there. So then they pop up the other camera and they could see and we can't, because
gotcha.
I'm not like monitoring the live stream.
Oh, wow.
It's very involved, but the aspect, basically I wanted to build it that the audience is like the people in the van.
Yes.
Like they're the guy in the chair in the cams,
yes.
catching things
I
we're
love
missing. So they are dialed in a lot of the time more so than we are, because they don't want to miss the moment, because the anticipation of like, okay, big lull, and then the big thing happens and they're like, wait, I missed it. Oh, no. And then they have like FOMO for missing out.
Well, you could also attest to this as a paranormal investigator, that sometimes when you're on location, you don't notice everything because there's certain, like maybe there's a confirmation bias that you're looking for. You're looking for a particular ghost, or perhaps in my case, you're terrified and you're not like, your senses aren't always all the way there. So I would very much appreciate the assist of a live audience who's like not in the place and they're just scanning footage.
The amount of things that we don't catch in the moment, or we just don't put together in the moment, because we're just like, it's me and usually two other guests, 1 to 2 tops. and we're the only ones in the building.
Yeah.
So it's like we are, monitoring. I'm like production, director, on-screen talent, making sure my guests are okay. So I'm like multitasking like 8 different jobs.
Yeah.
So I'll miss a lot of things because I'm making sure guests are fine. I'm making sure cams are working. No batteries are dying.
That's tough. I just did something alone where I
watched the first episode.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
So I know the pain of just like setting up everything while also still trying to investigate. How did you come up with all of the back end system of like how you get people to switch between cameras? And, because like we've looked into live streaming investigations ourselves. It is involved.
It's a lot. It took me about 9 months to build out the tech.
Oh my God.
To like fully draft out exactly how to get service in these buildings. Because think about like going to a prison in Arizona.
Yeah.
In the middle of the desert. How do you get a 1080p signal out?
Yeah.
So I had to troubleshoot that. I had to troubleshoot the way to get the audience involved so they feel like, they have a say in the investigation.
Yeah.
The good thing about Twitch is they can clip moments at any time.
Oh, cool.
So we do a whole evidence review afterwards when I get home, and they submit clips and we debunk them live. Like I'll drop them in editing software just so we can like brighten images, isolate sounds. We're like, oh, that's garbage. Oh, I don't know what this is.
You might be the person to get me to download Twitch.
You should.
Because like there's nothing that really, I'm not interested in watching other people playing. But it's not an app.
You're in download the website.
There's an app, but it's a website. You sound a million years old.
I mean, I am a million years old spiritually. But I've always wanted to kind of get into that world, but I'm not really interested in watching people game. So, but this feels right up my alley.
It's fun.
Hey everybody, it's me, Shane from Podwatcher. Hey, you know that thing you sign up for something and then you forget about it after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month after month. The subscriptions are there, but you're not using them. In fact, I just learned that 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. I tell you what, thanks to Rocketmoney, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place and cancel the ones I'm not using anymore. And now I'm saving more money. See, Rocketmoney is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and it helps you lower your bills so you can grow your savings. See all of your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For ones you don't want anymore, guess what? Rocketmoney can help you cancel them. Rocketmoney's dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all of your accounts. A panopticon, if you will. You can easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track. You can see your monthly spending trends in each category to know exactly where your money is going. You can get alerts if bills increase in price, there's unusual spending activity, or if you're close to going over budget. And now there's a new goals feature. Goals are important. And that automatically saves money for you, so you don't have to think about it. Pay off credit card debt, put away money for a house, or just build your savings. Rocketmoney makes it easy. Rocketmoney has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Go ahead. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocketmoney. Go to rocketmoney.com/watcher today. That's rocketmoney.com/watcher. rocketmoney.com/watcher.
Can I say something that's probably a little ass kissy right now?
Sure.
Yeah, please.
Sure, please. No, sure. Yes.
Shane sits up.
So
Shane lifted his ass cheeks off his chair.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wait, is it to us?
Yes.
Oh, I knew
I knew
you were going to be like
understand.
kissing up to Twitch or
No. No. So when I was building this live show aspect of this, I wanted to do something different in the paranormal space. It was always a hobby and interest of mine. And like my big thing was like, how do I take horror content on Twitch, like gaming or whatever, and take it to the next level in the live aspect? And I'm like, let me just go to the places these games are based off of.
smart.
Yeah. And like, I'm very middle of the road with paranormal. I'm not a full believer. I'm not a full skeptic.
That's fascinating to me because I feel like once you get out there and you've been to a lot of places, you really start to sort of lean one way or the other, but it's fascinating that you're kind of still in the middle.
Well, that's the thing. You could lean one way or the other depending on the location. Like some locations may be active, some may not.
Oh, there's a location.
That's what I am.
There's a location I won't go back to because
your dick is
like
that big. He just He just he looked like he was making a balloon animal.
It's windy.
Yeah, for the listeners, he did a jerk off motion.
There it is.
He was like, hand was by his head. It's ridiculous.
The ass kissing thing.
You were going to different locations from video games.
Yeah. And I was
You're
like,
a centrist.
okay, how do I take scary content in a live aspect and like take it to the next level? No one was really doing like a paranormal live show that's more than just like a phone on TikTok.
Yes.
And like, that's not, you can't get immersed in that audience because you're like, I don't know what's going on. I can't see much.
Yeah.
So I was like, and this is where the ass kissing part comes in. I'm like, what if Ryan and Shaden did a live stream aspect of this? Would I be interested in watching all of it? The highs, the lows, the big moments, the funny moments. And in my mind, I was like, yeah, I don't know if anyone else would watch that because I just don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I would watch it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to just try it and see what happens.
Well, I appreciate that.
So you all are the inspiration for my live show.
Well, thank you. That's very sweet.
It's legitimately true.
That kissing feels good back there.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Jordan has told me this before.
And my audience knows that too.
That's very kind of you to say.
I've told them that too. It's like,
Sorry to check my phone. I got a call and I thought it was my wife. We're on Firewatch right now. So
I keep looking down too. I'm like, am I fine?
So you've been doing this a couple years now?
Yeah, go 2.5.
What were you doing before that? Like, how did you end up?
Yeah, so
because obviously it's an investment. It's going to haunted places. It's not
the travel,
easy to
the
do.
gear. Yeah. It's a lot. So I was in the music industry before I started streaming.
Oh, cool.
That was like from like 17 to later 20s. That was like my career.
Oh, neat.
And it was really good. It was really fun. I toured a bunch. I was a music producer full time for 7 years, writing for artists, recording, mixing, mastering, that type of thing. And then I started streaming as a hobby because I was getting burnt out. Music is like, that industry is rough.
Was your initial streaming, did it have to do with music?
No. It was a full escapism because it was just, I was working with this other engineer in like a larger studio out here. And it was just this, I don't think he records music anymore, but he was miserable. Yeah. He was older and like, he's been in it since like, the 80s, like a veteran of the music industry. And I'm like, wow. He hates music.
Sort of hollow.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't ever want to do that because music was my escapism from normal life. So then I got into streaming just as an escapism from music, just to get some type of vent. And I love horror games. So I started with that. Subnautica was the first game I streamed. And I don't know if you ever heard of that game.
I've heard of it. I don't know anything about
Scary.
it. I have no. I can't do scary games.
It doesn't look like a scary game, but it is the scariest game I've ever played.
Really?
I gotta play this.
I have thalassophobia, so big open water.
That's
deep
an underwater one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good, but it was like I couldn't play it by myself. So I'm like, if I'm streaming it, it feels like a bunch of people are in the room with me. So it's like more of a
fun.
I could do bits, and I have the courage now. Yeah. And then, that hobby, 2020 happened, the world shut down, music industry shut down. I full tilted into streaming, became my career. And then I got the idea to do like paranormal stuff to like, okay, I like horror. I'm being known as like a scary, like spooky streamer. What can I do to take it to the next level?
What was the first place you went?
The Bel Air house.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Gorgeous.
Did you order a pizza?
We tried to. Oh my God. We tried to. And we called the pizza place. That was like the local pizza place.
They're like, we don't do that no more.
They said
not after those boys.
They said it's not pizza season.
The fuck?
We sat there.
Pizza's not a fruit.
What time of year
They're
was it?
harvesting the pizza?
It was like in May. And we called and all we wanted was pizza because like we had no idea what we were doing. I booked it. I'm like, we're just going to commit to this. Let's see what this paranormal thing's about. We called and they're like, it's not pizza season, and then hung up. And we're like,
well, no, I guess did you give them the address?
No, we didn't even get that far.
Because I was going to say, maybe they're just, we don't want to go to that haunted house.
Was it Bugs Bunny?
So that's a running thing. It's like
not pizza season.
It wasn't pizza season, and like
that wasn't Bugs Bunny. That was like some sort of like Al Capone gangster
trying to sneak it in there.
See,
Matt was actually with us at the Bel Air house.
Was that where the pizza thing happened?
That's where what we call Pizzagate.
We can't. That's not what we call it. That's not what we call it. That is not what we call it.
We've never told the story anywhere, and I don't know if now's the time.
We got to have TJ Marchbank on the podcast to tell that story.
But this is Detune's time.
It's Detune time. So, Bel Air House, you could not get pizza. But how was your experience there as the first?
That's why.
Oh, yeah. That's why. Last time we did this.
I went into it not knowing what it'd be like. Yeah. Like, so I've had a fascination with paranormal and like that type of thing, but I wasn't a full believer yet. I was like, I've experienced some things. It's kind of cool. I want to see what we can do. Me and my two friends who were coming with me, they also were like, one's a skeptic, one's a practicing witch. So they also are on both sides of the paranormal spectrum. And so we had no idea what we were going to do and like if it would actually like happen and like if it'd be interesting. So we bought like toys, Nerf guns, fake walkie-talkies just to like kill time if we needed to.
Yeah.
And then we got there and that place, it felt a lot heavier than anticipated. Even my skeptic friend, Brian, he walked in and he's like, oh, this place sucks. It's
got a vibe.
It does have a vibe. We
slept in the attic there, right?
We slept in the attic.
Yeah, I liked that. That was pretty cozy.
So the attic was cool until the owner told me that like the crawl space, like was like they runaway slaves who were trying to go north would like hide in there, and that freaked me out because I'm half black and I'm like,
I don't even remember hearing that.
But yeah, it was a really cool experience. Some things happened I didn't fully understand.
What happened?
So it was the first time actually using equipment and things happening on command was really cool.
Well, you already did better than him and I. Our first time doing a paranormal investigation, we had no equipment. We walked around and we were just like, this is scary. So kudos to you.
Well, I mean, I got to watch some of y'all's videos and be like,
I learned
from your mistakes.
Thank you.
know?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
They should have a plan when they start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
We had a loose plan. We had like, basic gear that like my viewers sent me. So it's like, we had like an EMF, like REM pod, just like little things like that.
Nice.
And
Spirit
like,
box?
Yes, Spirit box.
Great.
Getting things to happen on command was like one of the coolest things. Like I was still trying so hard to debunk things, trying to figure out what's going on. But it's like, there's an EMF sitting on a bed and it's done nothing for the past like 20 minutes. And I was like, can you make that thing light up? And then it lights up and I'm like, okay, wait, I wasn't like expecting anything. So like things like that were really cool. And the amount of like coincidences that happened made me go, okay, maybe there's a little more that I don't understand, or maybe user error. Let me investigate this more. And like, that's what started getting me down the road. We also like caught voices that weren't ours. Like the audience did. They clipped these things.
Oh, wow.
We didn't hear anything. And it's just like, we had one microphone and like, at the time it was just like a body cam mic on me.
Gotcha.
So it's like not somebody like breathing weird or anything like off camera.
Yeah.
And it was like things that sounded like real close like this. And we're like, I am a ghost. It's me.
All that stuff is pretty thrilling when you start getting things.
Yeah,
that's the fun part about ghost investigation.
Yeah.
But like when it's dead, boy, is it could be excruciating. And that's when him and I start to get.
Have you been to some stinkers? Not stinkers.
Two that
on
were
non-active locations.
Two that were like not much.
Nothing
like one or two things here or there, but we've never been to a place that nothing happened.
Gotcha.
It was always a little. Wait, really?
Yeah.
Moon River Brewing. Savannah?
That was
in Charleston. That was Savannah, right?
Was that Savannah? I think it was Savannah.
Yeah.
And did you like
a lot of fun.
Use the footage or anything?
We did. I danced on top of a
the
staircase.
whole episode. It had vibes. It's entirely possible, to the people who believe in ghosts that, maybe just nothing was going on the night we were there.
That night.
That's the other thing. Like, and that's the thing I tell my audience is like, even if we go to a place that's rumored to be mega haunted, we can get there and nothing would happen because it could just be one of those nights.
It's a living
vacation.
thing. It's a living thing.
Yeah.
I mean, ghosts can go on vacation.
Or they're just annoyed.
Or they're just, I don't get too much into it. Maybe they just don't have enough to manifest at that point.
Not enough juice?
Not enough juice.
I like to imagine some places that are like the heavy hitters that people are in every night.
Yeah.
Ghosts could be like, bro, like stop.
Enough.
This is annoying as shit. Like your little beepy guy is stressing me out. Because like that would be me if I was a ghost and be like, come on, stop yelling at me. Like,
I get it.
I'm tired.
People sometimes do yell at the ghosts and it get to be a bit much.
You know what? I want to raise this because in episode, and I think you do this every time, you tell the ghosts I don't want to be disruptive. I don't want to be offensive or something along the lines. You want to be respectful. And, and one of the episodes you said, because some ghost hunters don't mind.
Yeah. I don't give a shit.
How do you feel about Shane's method of kind of, in the Phasmophobia game, if you do what Shane does, they'll kill you.
True.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Yeah, basically. Well, my like thought process is like, if all this is real, or if it's like in my head and I'm manifesting, whatever the case may be, I still want to go into it respecting the location, the history.
Yes.
Because like these are someone's family members. Even if you don't believe in ghosts, if like someone was yelling at my like great grandma to be like, eat shit. I'm like, what?
No.
Like, what did she do?
No, I want to say that I generally reserve my sort of eat shits for the more reprehensible ghosts.
That is true.
If someone's like, oh, my grandma died here, I'm not like, suck my balls, bitch.
or like the ghosts that are like your run of the mill, like Lady in White. We don't really even know who this is.
Yeah, when they're like,
when it's not an actual,
who she is. I'm like, well, then that's probably not real. And
my thinking is if I was a ghost and someone came into my house, started screaming at me, I'd be like, I don't want to talk to you. Like if I was legitimately,
but maybe you'd want to kill them.
It's true. Well,
so that's what I'm going for.
So you got it. The more reprehensible, the mean spirited people.
And one of the things is like people are always like, you see so many scratches. You see people who are like, I got scratched. I got scratched. I mean, that's what I want. I want a scratch.
Do you think it's because you're so tall? The stature is kind of like
can't reach.
That would not make sense because there's a lot of real estate.
Well, I'm just saying, just like the stature itself is kind of intimidating, and you'd be screaming.
I don't think so.
I wonder if you have a reputation like on Ghost Twitter, like this guy.
This guy sucks.
This guy is.
That'd be pretty good.
The tall man.
Like if other ghosts are talking about you, he's gonna come one day for you.
But yeah, like I've gotten like, I've gotten snarky and like yelled at things that were like just bad people.
Yeah.
I went to the George Taylor house. It's like a founding father type of thing.
Nice.
But he owned slaves and were terrible to that. And I was like, fuck this dude.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit. Yeah. And even the people who were like my guides and like the people who were like the historians were like, oh, we tell them to fuck off all the time. Yeah. I was like, okay, cool. See, so in that case, if they're awful people, I would probably tell them to fuck off in real life, so I'll tell them to fuck off in ghost life.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel as well.
I'm curious do you know offhand how many locations you've been to?
Probably around 38 to 40.
Nice.
Wow.
I did a lot I did way too many last year. I did like 20 live streams.
Damn, wow.
And it was way too much. I pushed myself a little too hard.
So with that in mind, scariest place you've been?
Top 3 would be the Whispers Estate in Indiana.
We'll write some of these down. You could just say Indiana.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like legitimately,
Whispers
the scariest experience
Estate.
I've ever happened there.
I can.
Whispers.
Don't look at the camera like that. I'm from Illinois. I can hate on Indiana.
Okay. Whispers Estate.
Yeah,
Indiana.
Whispers Estate in Indiana. That place, I did it once. I did it once alone, thinking it was not going to be that big of a deal. It just looked like a house. Like
Yikes,
this all looked like a house. And I got there, and it was like a manor. It was massive.
That reminds me of Rolling Hills.
Yeah, Rolling Hills Asylum.
Rolling Hills, which like looked where that was in New York.
That was in Buffalo.
Was that the same trip?
Yeah, it was the Ohio trip. Yeah,
but Rolling Hills also looked like kind of small from the front, and then it just had a big ass on it and just kept
going. Yeah,
I maintain that Rolling Hills was the worst trip I've ever been on.
Absolutely.
That was the coldest I've ever been in my life.
So fucking cold.
And it was like just wind. It was just designed to like let the wind just rip through the building.
The wind in that place was brutal.
It was crazy.
But the little the base camp we had in that room, it had like just a little bit of heat, and they just had the biggest, hottest pot of coffee. And I remember being so thankful for that.
What are these other two?
What do we got?
Yeah. So Whisper Estate is up there. I've been to that place twice.
Does that have like a gnarly history behind it, or is it?
It's pretty gnarly. It was like it was one of those places that were like a hospital and living place because it was like 1800s.
Yeah.
So there was like a morgue. Ton of people died there. The doctor was not the best.
They're like, bring them here, we'll kill them.
Bring them here. Yeah. It had like a whole like servants' quarters up top. It was intense. One of the places, and I could probably share this clip with you later. But it was a place where for the first time, and one of the only times, a door opened on command.
Oh, that's neat.
I was the only one there. And it's like I was making a joke coming into the room. I wasn't even in the room yet. And I was like, like this ghost of Gary, this kid likes to play in this closet. This is like clubhouse. He likes to play hide and seek. So I'm like, if you want to come out and play, I have some toys. And I'm still in the hallway. And luckily I had a static cam rolling in there that stream could see as well.
Nice.
I just totally messed up and didn't swap my camera so they could see all my cams. And as I was walking in, before I crossed the threshold, you hear and it fully opens. And then I had a music box facing it, like one of those motion music boxes. And it the door opens all the way. The music box was facing there and it just did nothing the whole time. And all of a sudden just starts going off.
Grabbing this microphone. Shutting the store. Holy shit.
And I couldn't see into the door from the angle I was in because it opened towards me. And I was convinced a human was jumping out. I wasn't paranormal. I'm like, there's a middle of nowhere Indiana dude jumping out of a closet and I'm the only one here.
Yeah.
So I'm panicking.
I know that feeling.
I square up because I'm when you see the backpack rig, you'll laugh. I look like a Ghostbuster, but I'm not mobile in this thing. I can't run down some stairs. So I just square up and just wait. And it's one of the coolest, scariest things that's happened to me. Still freaks me out.
That's in the Whispers estate.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Oh, that is a nice rig. We're looking at the rig here.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
So,
that's really cool.
Shoulder camera is what stream sees. So it's their POV. And then I have an arm that comes out this way that has a monitor so I can see, what my camera see. And then a face cam up here too.
Whoa.
So it looks like a Twitch stream. My face is in the corner like a streamer camera. But instead of gameplay, it's what's in front of me.
Some kind of backpack rig like that seems really ideal for solos.
Yeah, I was about to say. Also, congratulations on the nomination for the Streamer Awards for League of Their Own. Which is an award made for people breaking ground and streaming in different ways. So,
I mean, it's a genuine feat. I could see why you would be nominated because even we've been like, it would be fun to do this live, but it seems impossible.
It's a lot.
So it's a lot. You putting this all together is crazy.
If you're looking at that backpack, it's I'm getting stressed out looking at the logistics of it.
It's a lot. And I think I sent you one of the inside of it too.
Yes. I think
have you had anyone at TSA scratching their head? Because we've run into that surprisingly infrequently, but when it does happen.
I'm trying to think. It was one airport. Every time I go through, it's definitely super special screening. They take everything apart. Yeah. They're like, what? Especially the Live View rig, the thing that's the brains of the entire backpack. Yeah. It looks like
these all look like bombs.
Yeah, it looks like a bomb. So it's a rectangle with two cables coming out. So it looks
like a photo of a bomb, right?
Yes. And I'm like, bomb. But yeah, so that is how I do multi-cams, controlling everything.
That's great. That's
so cool. Are you switching as well?
Yeah. Wow. I'm live switching. I'm doing it all.
Whoa,
so
that's insane.
Production and everything. I mapped it out so I can do it from a Android phone on my wrist.
Oh my God.
So anytime I'm doop, doop, doop. And it swaps what stream can see. And yeah.
Dude, that is so impressive.
It's a lot.
Have you ever seen that video of the guy playing the piano and pulling all the levers?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's huge.
Except I'm in a decapitated. No. Dilapidated building.
One thing too about you being alone and streaming this, because I just did this experience myself. There would be a part of my brain that would feel at least a little better that it was on live stream because now there's a bunch of witnesses. People will see if something bad's about to happen to me because that's always my fear when I go on solo investigations for Ghost Files or even when I was in that horrible Malvern Manor building by myself. I was wondering if something happens to me here.
Yeah.
That's that.
Who's going to know? And you're in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. The other two locations.
Well, actually, the town I was in was pretty quaint and nice, honestly.
Nice.
I love that town.
Nice. The other two, the Washoe Club.
I've heard about that one.
In Virginia.
Yeah.
Is that Virginia? Yeah, Virginia City, Nevada.
Yeah.
Beautiful, scary, really, really worth going through.
Beautiful and what's the vibe of the building? Paint us a little picture here.
So Virginia City was an old mining town for silver, and it was one of the boom towns. It was 60,000 people, all rushed there in the 1800s, and now the town has 400 people in it.
Yeah.
The building was known as the Millionaires Club because all of the most wealthy people and presidents and everyone would just have their little secret society in there. And also Mark Twain like vibed in there. It's just like a very historic, beautifully kept building. But then also like the back of it, because so many people died in mining towns, was a morgue where they just stacked hundreds of bodies in like a cold cellar. And so like they've had incidences there all the way up to even 1980 of like weird shit happening in there. And so I took me and two friends in there and we like went for it. And it was the only time I had a guest tap out. My wife came and picked him up because we had an Airbnb like closer to town.
Jordan, it just said knocking.
All right, I'll listen.
I say we fucking leave.
Jordan?
I say we leave. I say we go. This is not good.
He was just like, I gotta go. Shout out to Point Crow. He was like, I gotta go. I can't be in here.
Rubbing his face in the turd, dude.
And so he like gets picked up, and then it's just me and my other friend Nandre, and we just do the rest alone. And it was awesome. I definitely recommend that place. And then one that I thought would...
Did you have it all to yourself?
Yeah.
Locked down? That's awesome.
Whole thing to ourselves. We were locked in from outside, and we also had the inside locked.
Yeah.
And so we had to like call someone to like open one of the doors.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
It was like a full lockdown.
That's awesome.
Which, as someone who's doing this live, I kind of like, because the other scary aspect of doing it live is like security. Like,
yes.
You know, people are weird. And so I do hire...
that's a good point.
I hire extra security that will be like outside and just like monitor a situation. So like, yes, I'm inside, I'm alone. But there will always be someone at least outside on site, monitoring in case anything happens.
That's a good precaution that I probably should have taken. But I'm not doing it live.
Yes, that's the thing.
I'm not doing it live. No one knows I'm there.
No one would know you're there, but doing it live, and luckily, I mean, these places are so hard to get to that someone, even the closest person who would try to show up would have to go like an 8-hour drive.
Okay, I see.
So it's like, I have security, we've never had an incident, and it's like, it goes really well. It's been smooth. But yeah, the other place, which I thought would be silly, was a 1910 YMCA. I thought it would be goofy and fun.
No, I can see that being very spooky.
I did a double header. I did a prison, which I thought would be the scariest one, and then a YMCA, which would be like, oh, this will be something. The YMCA was horrifying.
Where was that?
Globe, Arizona.
Okay.
Beautiful, quaint little mountain town. But this YMCA was like 2 floors, but we didn't know when I booked this thing that the upstairs was a dorm for all of the mine workers for that mining town.
Gotcha.
So a lot of weird, awful stuff happened up there. And so what I thought was silly, goofy time was like not. It was legitimately like my most fearless guest who I've had on the show twice. She was like, Jordan, fuck your show, fuck your equipment. We gotta go. And when she said that, I'm like, I don't know what happened because we were doing an Estes. So I was under.
Oh, damn.
And it wasn't even anything happening for me. It was just in the room.
Yeah.
And she's also a skeptic. She's just like, I don't know what that was. I don't care what that was. We're getting out of here.
That's so funny because one of the weirdest things that's happened to me on camera, Shane was with the Estes. He had the headphones on and I heard this really scary growl.
Yeah.
And he didn't hear it. So like he just took off his headphones to me reacting to like, fuck this. But that's really funny. I've had a similar experience.
So those 3 are awesome. There's been some stinkers. There's been some fun ones. I don't know.
How was the farmhouse, by the way, because we're looking for some places to investigate in SoCal. And I saw that you did that. It was at the Mag farmhouse?
The Mag farmhouse and the Kellogg house. They're right on the same property, same people who I did the Kellogg house first. And then I talked to them about doing the Mag house. And they were like, we've only ever had one person investigate this and they barely did anything. So like, we're curious and you respected this house, so come over there. Both of those were awesome.
Oh.
They were really fun. The Mag house is really interesting because they're restoring it.
Yeah.
So the upstairs has no walls.
Yeah.
It's all studs. You could see the entire length of the place.
Wow.
But it was really cool. I would recommend both of those and you could do it. It's on the same ground.
It'd be fun for you to come with us and do a live stream while we were shooting.
I would 100% be down. Like,
yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. It's like 6 hours of 6 hours usually? 5?
It depends. It depends how big the place is.
It does, yeah.
And our limitations of like how long we could actually be there.
There's a lot of quote unquote, genuine, earnest ghost hunting.
Unbelievable.
Where,
unbelievable.
We're not yucking it up.
Yeah. Where Shane's eyes go vacant and I'm just sitting there, just like reaching out.
Okay, wait. I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Was there ever in the history of you doing this the slightest 1% of
No.
Never? Okay.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah. I figured that was the answer, but I just wanted to ask.
We've had people ask this like anytime we do a Q&A or a live show. They're always like, what's the one moment that you, and I'm like, I'm sorry to disappoint you. There's absolutely nothing.
So I guess the follow-up, because I knew that would be that. Do you want that moment?
I mean, it'd be cool. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
He claims he does, though.
I do. I think it would, in the same way that, you know, I'm more open to the idea of the existence of aliens. I think, you know, the universe is so giant. The odds that aliens do not exist are highly, you know, unlikely.
I agree.
I long for the moment. I think it's nice when there's like a paradigm shift where, you know, let's say we find definitive proof of aliens, or they land, or, you know, something is unearthed, and we learn that aliens are 100% real.
Yeah.
That would be incredible. Like, you know, that's a historic, crazy thing. It's like when people landed on the moon. Wouldn't it be crazy to be alive when that happened?
Oh, I think about that all the time.
Are you that thing? So it would, you know, I think it's incredible when stuff like that happens. That like expands what we know to be real and our understanding of life.
There's science we don't know about yet. Remember I said that?
Well,
that's see that is
but okay, easy now.
Remember that?
So yes, while I do think I genuinely would be excited to learn that ghosts were real.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Can I sell you on what kind of got me a little intrigued in the paranormal?
You can try to.
Yeah, no. But the thing is, it's not in the realm of ghosts. It's not in the realm of ghosts or like the afterlife or anything like that. Before I got into this weird career, I was on track of, you know, I was a nerd, full ride type of like science guy. Before I had a head injury that ruined all of that. But I'm intentionally leaving bedspread.
That was just like me. I fell into a pile of bricks.
You guys all ghost hunters have this in common.
So what mine did was it ripped away my scholarships. So I couldn't continue down my higher education.
Sure.
But the idea that made me more intrigued in paranormal is like, I don't know, afterlife, that implies a huge like spectrum of like, okay, then religion's involved. It's a whole thing. Yeah. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, the one thing I do and have studied some was space-time and how space-time can blip. And we don't fully understand what space-time is. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, what if the things that we think are paranormal are just little slippages of space-time, and we're just kind of peeking into,
I've often wondered this as well,
like little instances of past, future, whatever it is, because space-time is a real thing that we are studying.
Like Murph with the ghost books.
Exactly.
Almost,
Yes.
And
Exactly.
Don't let me leave, Murph.
Don't let me leave, Murph.
No. Yeah, that was more of my like, I can sell myself on that idea more than an afterlife idea.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, because I'm like, space and time.
That's maybe the most interesting, you know, that's cool. I like that.
I'm trying to ground it in science.
Yeah.
Well, I was always saying
that would be, you know, more than any other ghost hunter has attempted to ground it in science, because that's my issue with it. And people get mad at me.
Well, except for the guy who said the geothermal energy.
Well, that guy, that's the other thing. It's just that like all of the things that people are using on ghost hunts and it's all just pseudoscience. And it is like, that's what it is.
I mean,
they're making these like connections where they're like, well, it's a radio and it scans and they can manipulate and it's like, what do you mean they can manipulate the thing? That doesn't mean anything. You're making assumptions about what ghosts can do. There's no verifiable way to quantify this or to prove this or recreate it in a lab. There's no science involved in any of it.
But we've seen pictures and videos and audio recordings of things that aren't there that are pretty clear. It
doesn't matter. None of that matters. None of that matters. It doesn't.
My rebuttal to that is
that's fine.
There are science that we're still understanding and still learning.
Of course.
We learn something every year. We're having a breakthrough in what we realize about the universe, about time.
We find big squid.
Big what?
We find the big squid.
The big squid.
The giant squid.
Speaking of, was that?
Oh, yes.
Is
that a person?
I think to me, like what you're saying, Jordan, is that it would take some like animal exhibiting ghost-like behavior for me to go, okay. Yeah.
And what do you mean an animal?
Like well, I would always look to nature to be like, what's really possible? Like to me, the octopus is the aliens are real because of the octopus. You know,
like what is that thing?
Like yeah. I don't think that specifically, but like how could like that is the wildest thing on earth. Yeah. The octopus and how they think and how their brain and their neural pathways
Matt,
work.
do you believe in Bigfoot?
No.
Okay, I was just curious because like Shane he could see a world in which because it's like
I mean,
meat and bone.
see-
It's meat and bone.
I can see
meat and bone cryptids.
I was gonna say cryptids.
I will not rule out. You know,
Okay.
once
I can
they're
see how that's
Mothman and they're
But
doing
what I'm
When
saying
it gets too
terrorism.
fantastic.
is say for example, there's like a jellyfish that they find can exist on the beach and it can go undetected and it can something like that.
Yeah.
Where you go, oh, if an animal can exhibit behavior that we can often attribute to ghosts,
I see the dots. I see the dots.
And again, I'm not saying that maybe one day they'll be like, look, we've done it. We've got proof of some scientist who is probably using methods that aren't being used by anyone doing ghost hunts for the internet. Will be like, we've done it. We've proved that ghosts exist. Then great, cool. I just don't think we're ever going to get to that,
But I've often said that humans are a form of energy, and where does it go when we expire? Like
humans are kind of like living ghosts.
Well, it's just like where does it? That's
pretty
kind of similar what you're saying about space time. Like where does things go? Like, are we seeing like echoes of like either the future, of the past, or perhaps like a premonition of the future?
Yeah,
it's something I'm curious
interesting to think about.
Yeah,
space time's very interesting.
That is my thought exercise of when I went into this because like I needed to ground it in something, and that was like, okay, from what I know. And from what I've studied, that is something that's not outside the realm of possibility.
Yes. And understand, these are my opinions. I don't claim to have the answers. I'm just saying
none of us do. That's the thing. That's why it's fun.
As someone who is going on these things and being asked like, well, what do you believe? And this is always, that's just where I'm coming from.
I often think about like if we were to on one of our investigations get a full-fledged, full-bodied apparition that was undeniable,
then I'm all in, baby.
No, but I'm saying like even if we got that, and you often say that if
I saw it with my own eyes,
no, but if we were to air that episode, you often claim that like people will be like, that's it, ghosts are real because you've spent an entire career being like, this is all hooey. I actually still think that if we were to air an episode with a full-bodied apparition, people would still think it's fake.
Maybe.
Well, sure.
Internet has gone too far. Like what you see and what you could believe is like so squashed. We're cooked essentially.
Yeah. Well, no ghost hunters in it for the glory. No ghost hunters in it for like I'm going to be in the science books. Like they're going to have like a chapter dedicated to the discovery of ghosts as an actual thing. Because like I said, no matter what, people are just going to claim it's fake. That's the one thing that's frustrating is that like no matter what happens, people will always assume the worst.
Genuinely, a lot of times when we see like other YouTube content where they seemingly find evidence that is too good to be believed.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's fake.
That's fair. And that's frustrating to me.
That I believe that or that other people are doing that? Because I
that you believe
guarantee you that.
You can't guarantee that though.
I think I can.
Well, that's a frustration that you have to kind of be like, this happens everywhere for everything. Yeah. I mean, like the moon landing or like, I mean, we saw it with the fires. Immediately people's brains go, it's a psyop.
Wait. No, don't lump me in. No, hang on a second.
No.
Me saying I think a lot of sensationalized.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay, I thought you were.
I'm saying your frustration must go beyond that because everywhere people are questioning everything, whether or not there's science behind it or not.
No, it's not even so much. It's just like we are operating in a field that hasn't been scientifically proven. We're trying to find the answers. So if you get any kind of semblance of an answer, and if it's legitimately really good, and it's like, oh, this should bring further more questions. But the immediate thing that what happens whenever you have something that is that solid or concrete is like, well, you just faked that.
Yeah.
But if you actually like, for instance, if we go out there, I know we're honestly trying to find things, and if we find something, I know in my heart that if I put it out there, the first thing people will say is like, oh, you just faked that. Which is super annoying because it's like we've spent so much time trying to find that.
It truly is one of those things though, like going back to the aliens thing. Like the probability of aliens existing, like something else has to be out there, whether it be a microbe, whether it be a sentient thing or something that operates in
some fucked up thing.
Yeah, something we can't even comprehend. But
that ain't not. We're like, that's not what I wanted. They're like, sorry, that's an alien. We're like, that's it?
That's that thing?
Fucking cloud?
But, so say if you saw something like that online and it's like definitive proof it exists, I still would have a hard time believing it. And that's someone who's like in this type of field.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you need to experience for yourself to totally take out any doubt of, is this something that's happening?
But the problem with that is until you are the person that gets something that is too good to be true and definitive, and now there's nothing to dispel. Like you're going to put that out there and people are just going to claim the same thing about you. Because I actually am curious.
Well, but at that point, I'd probably quit.
Well, I'm actually curious, Shane. Like,
I'd probably say, look, you'll probably think I'm crazy. I have seen a ghost with my eyes,
and we have video of it.
Sure, we've got
Here's the video of me talking to it.
Even if we saw one but didn't get video of it, I'd be like, listen, everyone, I saw a ghost. I don't want to answer any more questions about this. They're real. I'm retiring.
You should just do that anyway.
No. I'm actually curious. Like, if we did get something that was like
stop at that
the Holy Grail, we got it. We have the definitive proof, and then people were like, fake. Would that actually frustrate you? I'm curious.
No.
God, I would get so
You
frustrated.
have to be ready for it.
I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
I would be mentally ready, but it would still frustrate.
I would hope that my assessment would have like a little more weight to it because I've spent so long being like, look, if I ever tell you I genuinely believe I saw a ghost, then you should really believe me on that one.
Would it poke at your soul knowing that the other versions of you that exist in the world would be the first with their knives out when it came down to like saying you're a huckster?
I don't think so.
Your variants.
Like your variants, the Shane Madej variants that are out there.
I mean, I would be more angry with all the other people who have sort of fabricated stuff.
Fair.
You know?
Yeah. Now you know where I'm at.
Fair.
Yeah.
But no, it is an interesting thing that we're doing because no matter what, if we achieve the highest possible result that we're all after, it ultimately will mean nothing.
Well,
I guess the thing that you're looking into though, like for me, I just want to experience it for myself.
Me too.
And I'm
curious.
I do my live streams telling people I'm not here to change your mind about anything. I'm not trying to tell you this is real. I'm just having fun doing this.
Yes.
And you must be having fun watching because believe it or not, you're here for the ride.
Is the door the most sort of shocking moment you've witnessed personally, or was there other?
The door, and then there's one incident that like I still don't understand. And I didn't see it with my eyes, but it was behind me on a night vision camera. We were in an old hospital in Tennessee, and my two guests had to go back to the hotel, so I was there alone. We did have security on site, but they were like it was like chain locked inside type of thing.
Yeah.
And like I'm setting things up. It's my first time being alone. This is like episode 2, so I'm still don't know what I'm doing. And as I'm setting things up, what literally is and looks like a human walks in the hallway behind me. And I didn't see it, but I look down and chat's freaking out. And they send me the clip, and I'm like, okay, what the hell? So I call security, and like this building is equipped with like motion cameras everywhere. So you get a hit if something like moves in front of a camera, just for like, looters, that type of thing. It's a hospital. And they were like, there's nothing on the camera. I'll give you the footage. And so it looks like a person is like, you can see the shape, and it doesn't look like a shadow. It looks like a person walking behind in this hallway, in a doorway right behind me. But on the camera that's facing into that lobby, there was nothing there. So I still don't know what that is. I didn't see it with my own eyes. But it is one of those things I'm like, that freaks me out.
But you see the person on the footage.
Oh yeah, it's very, very clear. Like it looked like I thought there was a person in the building with me.
That's crazy.
So I was like freaked out. So that was another moment. The door moment definitely freaked me out again. My mind goes to human first, obviously. But then like the door moment happened. We tried to debunk it as much as possible. My audience is like 50-50 skeptic believer. So like, I'm like, all right, skeptics start chirping up. Like, what can I do to like do this? So I'm like yanking on the doorknob. I'm like jumping all over the house. I'm doing anything I can to try to get this thing
Seeing
open.
if there's wind and stuff like that. But you said it was bolted. It unbolted?
It like, you can hear the...
Okay.
So I like yanked on the door, almost yanked the doorknob off. I tried everything I could that was like being thrown at me, and I'm like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting what you said about like you're not trying to change anybody's mind. That's literally why I wrote the outro of Ghost Files the way I did, where it's like, we're here to present the questions and possibilities. To interpretation, however, is up to you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change your mind. Like I could give you all the stuff, and then you decide whether or not you think it's a ghost.
Yeah.
Which is like that's also kind of like the show. That's why he's the skeptic and I'm the believer.
Yeah.
So it is kind of knowing that just like no matter what happens, I am probably not going to change anybody's mind, but I'm curious to get the answers for myself.
Like at the end of the day, I like being scared. It's fun for me. It's thrilling.
It's fun.
It's like it's
you picked a good time to be alive.
Every single day I'm like, oh
yeah.
But yeah, I like feeling afraid when I know I'm like still obviously safe. I'm not like a daredevil.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, I'm safe. I like feeling nervous. I like feeling afraid in those type of environments. It's fun. It's like fun to like just explore historic places.
Yeah.
So like that is a big thrill for me. It's like I just like doing this.
It's neat to go to these places.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them, not all of them.
Some of them are like,
yeah.
You show up and you're like, ugh.
But yeah, a lot of the historic places, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
When you're walking around alone at night.
Yeah.
You're just like, what a surreal experience.
Yes, just knowing how many people in every walk of life that's gone through this hallway or like sat in this room, like that stuff excites me. That's fun. So yeah, at the end of the day, I just like feeling afraid. I like exploring places. I like traveling.
Have you been to the Winchester?
No, that's on my list for this year.
Oh man,
I'm sure they'd love to have you. It's glorious.
Okay, I absolutely would love to go there. Literally for the architecture alone, it looks so sick.
Crazy.
It's crazy, man.
But I'm hoping to do that this year. And there's like a few other that I'm like, I just gotta go do it. Yeah.
How long does it take to actually set up all the different cameras for the live stream before the shoot starts?
I've gotten pretty good at it. I can show up on location and be ready to go live, usually 45 minutes.
Oh my God, that's fast.
I have everything like packaged in bags, ready to set up and plant and good to go.
Okay, cool.
And the good thing about the live aspect is like, it's going to be a little scuffed.
Yeah.
But that's the endearing part because it feels like you're just doing a silly thing with friends.
Yeah.
So the live aspect gives you leeway to be like, oh shit, this camera broke. Give me like a couple minutes to fix it.
That's actually one of the scariest parts of any investigation is going to set up things like static cams because there's no cameras rolling. So if something happens, you don't have the footage and also you're kind of vulnerable. So like, I hate that part. So that's crazy. You do it in 45 minutes. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. My brain's broken in that aspect. I like doing things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the mail.
It's the mailbag. I realized last week we didn't tell people where to leave mail, but if you would like to leave a voicemail, it's 818-275-4585. That's 81 you ask Luke. We're also at emails. AskWatcherPods@gmail.com, and we're on Instagram at Podwatcher.
That was the cleanest rundown we've had yet.
Well, it was still pretty goofy.
I liked it.
This is a call from Evan.
Yay!
Hi, Evan.
Hey, this is Evan from Maryland. Love the show. And I gotta know, I have a question I ask many new people I meet, that usually tells me a lot about them. So here it is. I wanna know what you guys think. So, you wake up in a room, 10 by 10 room.
Oh.
And you know at one point, over the next 24 hours, a Goblin is going to drop from the ceiling and try to attack you.
Okay.
You have to sleep at least 3 hours during this 24-hour period.
Mm-hmm.
When do you sleep? I'd love to know your thoughts.
Interesting.
Wait. How many hours are we in there?
24 hours.
24 hours.
You're in a 10
sleep.
by
We
10
have to
room.
sleep.
I did really enjoy his I'd love to know your thoughts, thanks, but I was really hoping that it would just be silent and then hang up.
Thank you so much for the call,
you,
Evan.
Thank you.
Evan's teed it up as a question that he asks everyone.
Which is, God, would I love to be friends with Evan?
Is Evan Jigsaw? That is crazy.
However, it did kind of sound like Evan was making it up. Thank you, Evan. All right, 10 by 10 room. You're in there for the next 24 hours, and at one point, a goblin is going to drop from the ceiling and try and attack you. And you have to sleep for at least 3 hours. When do you sleep is the question.
That could be broken up, I think, too, right? Like it doesn't have to be a continuous 3.
We're just going by what Evan
if you
said,
want
so
REM,
possibly,
if you want REM sleep, you probably want to.
I would say continuous 3.
Yeah.
That changes things. Okay. I have an idea, but I'll let you guys go
That's
first.
not in the rules.
I say it's not in the rules.
Okay. All right.
Evan
You can
just
split it up. Why, you want to do like 5?
If he is Jigsaw, he goes, oh, I didn't think about that.
Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Wait. That's not fair. Time out.
It's me again from before.
I personally would just sleep the 3 right away. Right in the first. I would do it right away.
But the thing is, though, you just woke up.
Oh, we did just wake up in the room.
You just woke up.
I'll pop a weed gummy or 2 and just go right back to sleep. Go right back to sleep.
He doesn't say you can't fall asleep.
I feel like if you squander your, and I guess, this is a question of vulnerability and when the goblin may attack, but I guess you have no idea of knowing.
Nope.
Well, if I'm a goblin, I'm attacking not right away.
All right. If I'm a goblin, what are you talking about?
Well, I'm thinking about it because if we're following like horror movie rules, they're not going to attack you in the first act. They're going to attack you as things ramp up.
Yeah, but I feel like I'd rather get my sleep a little later when I need it. Because if you sleep right away and then you're up 21 hours.
It's not bad. That's not too bad.
Your defenses are going to be a little shoddy.
Well, if you make it to 21 hours, then you know that he's going to attack when you're sleeping.
Oh.
If he hasn't attacked you in the first 21 hours, you have blown your life.
Then that's the trick. Because
then you'd have to go to sleep.
You have to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Then you lose.
Because theoretically, if you make it 21 hours, you're done. You go to sleep.
But
and he hasn't attacked
is the thought that when he attacks you, if you are asleep, that you're dead, or do you fight?
I think you're dead because you have to sleep for 3 hours.
Yeah, you've exhausted your.
Well, how stealthy is he when he drops from the ceiling? Are we talking like Mission Impossible, where it's kind of like, like he's like very, very quiet and he kills you in your sleep? Or is he like dropping straight out of the sky and it's very loud?
Just like
that toast reference. Toast.
Yeah, is that Ving Rhames?
Toast. Yeah, it's Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
I'm still doing first 3.
I'm doing first 3 as well.
I'm going to take a nap around lunch.
Around lunch?
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends what they bring.
I think I'd wait until about halfway, and then I'd go. Okay, well, I feel like your best odds are you stay awake for the first 12 or 10 or whatever, and then you sleep 3 hours.
Well, because he's probably
how is that your best odds though? Because like I feel like odds wise, he wouldn't show up in the first 3 hours. You want to make it so that when you are awake, he shows up.
Yeah.
Right. So if that's what you're trying to aim for, you want to get the sleep out of the way right away.
If it's consecutive, I'd do it in the middle.
I do middle.
Really?
I do middle.
If it doesn't, I would sleep in 10-minute shifts all day.
Yeah, you could do that. I've tried that before.
Like,
that's how I live.
Sleep fasting?
No, I did polyphasic sleeping for an experiment for a little bit, for a week.
You went nuts, man.
I went nuts though.
How long were you?
I was doing.
That's what I do.
Let's see, I did 90, 90, 90.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was like
it did not work.
It didn't work well.
You would come into the office that week and you were like,
were you just hallucinating?
Oh, dude, it was bad.
Was that for a BuzzFeed video?
Man. It was for a BuzzFeed video. I felt like all the people in those Nightmare on Elm Street movies when they're just like fucking like seeing shit.
Just red rings under your eyes.
Yeah, it was awful, dude.
It's so cool when they all get sleepy in those movies and they're trying to stay up and they're taking caffeine pills. God, that kicks ass.
I gotta tell you, it's not cool living it.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have a demon trying to kill me.
Yeah, I would do middle of the day. And I'm curious about you, but how would you sleep? Because I think I'd curl up in a ball in the corner.
Well, I'm assuming you have a bed.
What if you got naked?
Okay.
All right.
On board.
To sort of discourage the goblin.
From what?
From doing sort of, because then it's suddenly a very personal sort of Eastern promises,
Or you're just giving him a target. He's just going to target your dong.
Yeah, I'm face down, ass up.
If I go ass up,
naked.
Yeah.
No, I'm a side sleeper. I can't sleep on my stomach. It's uncomfortable, and you're just squishing your Johnson.
Sorry. I sleep. Do you know Dragon Ball Z?
Yes.
How Yamcha dies? You know that like when he's like in a pit.
I don't know that part.
Oh, it's also like just a
I casually watch Dragon Ball Z. But
you should. If anybody asks you that ever again, you say no.
Yeah, I'm realizing no.
It's also just like a meme that pops all over the place. But he's just like one arm up, one leg kind of halfway up, just like looking pathetic. That's how I sleep. Very pathetic.
Well, I doubt that, Jordan.
He might feel bad. He's like, oh God. Like
yeah, that's what you do. You just beta yourself down until the goblin's like,
he's like,
yeah, what if you were like, please, please, I want it.
I could just sleep standing up. Like if I was leaning against a wall, it would look like I'm awake.
That's horrifying.
That's a good idea. Maybe make it like, if you have a hat,
exactly.
Your brim's always down.
Exactly.
He doesn't know whether you're sleeping or not.
Or I could cut ping pong balls in half and put them on your eyes.
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah, and now he won't know.
That's how you win.
He'll be like, this guy's supposed to sleep.
He goes, come on. This guy's so awake.
And you go, I already did.
That's right, motherfucker. The thing is, though, that goblin comes down. Who's to say that I'm going to defeat the goblin anyway?
That was the thing I was thinking. Like, how big is this goblin?
Yeah, are we talking like a big goblin or are we talking like a little gremlin?
I think it's a little one. And
Goblins
if you
are rarely
if you beat it, you get to eat it.
I don't want to eat it.
Too bad, you got it.
I would try.
Well, that was a great question.
It was an illuminating conversation.
Yeah. I learned a lot about you two.
Yeah.
A quick, who's your favorite horror villain of all time?
Oh, are we going to ask him?
No, you got to ask him the dangerous question.
Well, first let's get that. And then
we've had the final word on it, so there's no point.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
Let's get another final word.
Or even horror movie if it doesn't have to be a villain.
Favorite horror villain. If I had to pick one, I'm like, damn, that's cool. I usually like a villain that's like morally gray.
Yeah.
One who's like, oh shit, I can kind of see why they're
like
doing
Koba from Planet of the
Koba!
Apes.
Koba. Human work. Okay, give me like 60 seconds. You put me on the spot. Now I can't think of a single horror movie.
We should ask every guest, though, the other dangerous question, though.
Okay.
Wait, what's the other dangerous question? I'll think about the other one while you ask me this thing.
Matt, you have to ask it because I think you're good at not leading the witness.
Okay. We did a tournament for the most iconic horror villains.
Yes.
And at one point it came to Samara Morgan from The Ring, the little girl, or the Xenomorph from Alien.
Xenomorph.
Interesting you say that.
He's Xenomorph.
Xenomorph.
Yes.
So that's 2-2.
You're the witch of the room again.
That's 2-2.
He's the witch of the room.
No, last time we're 2-2 now.
I meant to make a sound alert. I'm going to start designating a witch of the room every episode.
What was the origin of the witch of the room?
Oh, could I, like a little witch cackle? Like
Yeah. I'm going to pick my witch of the room every week.
The witch of the room.
Xenomorph. Xenomorph because Xenomorph mops the floor with anyone else.
I think Samara would beat the shit out of the Xenomorph.
What?
Yeah.
Because she's got teleportation powers.
Yeah, it was the second round of the tournament and the Xenomorph was...
I stand by it.
We were all like,
I stand by it.
I was pro Xenomorph.
It is funny how much like it has incited a fire in the comments because there are people like that's fair, and some people are like that's insane. The Xenomorph is out, but I do think it's funny to ask every guest this.
It is interesting.
Yeah. I think Xenomorph mops the floor with anybody. It's just it's a perfect killer.
Perfect killer.
You can't even like.
Hey, Freddy's pretty good too. Freddy kills you in your sleep.
True. Do Xenomorphs sleep?
Oh, fuck.
Oh my God, imagine Freddy torturing a Xenomorph in their sleep.
I would love to.
In Resurrection, they've got all those Xenomorphs in their little pods.
They do this
and they're like
thing.
chilling.
He shows up in an alien.
Yeah, they do that thing and you see their like little back spines.
You could show up in an alien, a Xenomorph stream.
Wait, we need that.
God.
Alien versus...
I'm Ripley.
Freddy versus
Get away from me, bitch.
Freddy versus Alien. We need that.
It's pretty good.
I might have to go with Freddy. It's my favorite killer.
That's what I'm saying.
Freddy,
because he's fun.
Freddy fucking rocks.
The quips, just too good.
Can you guess who our favorite villain is? Because Shane and I have the same one.
How many? I have no idea.
Big Mike, Michael Myers.
I was going to say Jason. I was going to say Jason.
It's one of the, big three, the Holy Trinity.
I'm not a huge Jason guy. Jason's a huge Jason.
I like when Jason gets campy in the later ones, and then like the deaths are kind of goofy.
He is a pretty campy guy as well.
Like the sleeping bag. Like
the sleeping bag kill is great.
That's camp.
Who's on?
Did I open another?
Sorry.
Is there a sleeping bag incident?
I thought my campy joke was pretty funny.
I didn't even hear it. I didn't even hear it.
It's a ride homer, I guess.
Well,
I get it now.
Wonderful.
Oh, this is great.
This is awesome.
Plug your stuff. So if people want to, do you have anything coming up soon? Because this is going to be out in a couple weeks.
The 20th. This is January 20th.
January 20th. Nice. Okay, so mid-February. Date's not locked in, but it'll be the first episode of the season for Paranormal Detour.
Exciting.
Twitch.tv/detune, like detuning an instrument. We live stream it there, and then it all gets edited down to YouTube. The show, I call it Paranormal Detour. It's a little play off of like Detune.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Can you reveal any places you're going yet, or is it a secret? Do you like to keep it kind of mystery?
I announce it the day before.
Fun.
Safety reasons.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So I announced day before. But yeah, I'm really excited for the season. I'm doing less of them, but trying to make it more quality.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I think it's gonna be fun. The guests I have lined up for this year, I only have some so far, and it should be really cool.
Stoked.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you have a streaming schedule? Or is it?
Yeah. So Sunday, Mondays, 6:30 p.m. PST. But I'm toying with the idea of starting at 3 PST so I can get more of my nighttime back. And then Wednesday, Thursday, noon PST.
What do you do on those days typically? Like when you're not doing an investigation?
Yeah, so I do a lot of just chatting, like hanging out, talking to the community, covering news. We do horror games together, and we do like goofy like paranormal debunk bingo, which is fun. So we'll like, 'cause there's so many like you gotta be kidding me type of videos out there, especially like TikToks.
Yeah.
So then we have a whole bingo board set up of just like the most like this happens in every video. Like, come on now. And so that's really fun for skeptics and believers. And then we play a lot of scary games, a lot of chaos and just kind of riffing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun time.
Amazing. Incredible. Well, check it out. It's genuinely you're a trailblazer.
It's pretty awesome
in the field here.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
And hopefully we'll do some hunting together in the future.
Yeah,
we'll figure
fun.
something out. We'll do something.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
I would absolutely love it. That'd be so sick.
And I won't call anyone's grandma a piece of shit.
Only call the people who deserve it.
Some people's grandmas are pieces of shit.
You know what? That's fair. There's some horrible grandmas out there.
It could be an awful grandma.
Is that the new Adam Sandler, Rob Schneider film, Horrible Grandmas? Is that the one coming out on?
Wait, is this?
I don't know if you're joking or not.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Like the thing is, I'm like, that sounds real.
Horrible Grandmas has like a 4-picture Netflix deal.
Yeah, exactly. It does.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for coming on. This is awesome.
And everyone, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.